Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Game On podcast. I'm your host, Bailey Haggan, and in this episode of the Game On podcast, I am with Henry Mulligan. So, Henry, hello.
How are you? I'm here. It's very exciting to be here. Can I just say thank you for this opportunity? Yeah, I'm Henry. I'm doing a short film at the minute, but I've got a lot of experience within games. I've been playing games since I was about 7, so it's exciting to be here, and I'm excited to discuss with you, Bailey.
Okay, so anyway, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you on to the
Thank
Game
you.
On podcast. So there are a few things I would like to discuss with you for the first part. I want to know what is your earliest gaming memories growing up. So Henry, what is your earliest gaming memories?
I'd say my earliest is Xbox 360 because I remember my uncle got me one for my birthday, and I remember getting Minecraft on it on my 7th birthday, and it was the best day of my life. So, I would just sit down, and me and my brother would do split screen, and would play that, and then we also had a Wii of like every other place, so we'd always play that at my grandma's, and I remember
Oh yeah, the
me
Wii.
and yeah, brilliant console. And me and my dad would play Mario Kart, which is a very nice memory because my dad doesn't really play games, and it was nice having that one thing that we could both agree on. If you get what I mean.
The Wii, probably one of my favourite console ever. And and that's not even my earliest gaming memory, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
the Wii, there's a lot of games on the Wii that I enjoyed. Mario Kart Wii was probably the favourite. And yeah, I totally agree with you on the Wii part. And
Mhm.
so carry on telling me about your earliest gaming memories.
Well, mainly it was a lot of Wii Sports Resort, and Minecraft. Because Minecraft, obviously, you could have it on your phone. So I'd be like just a little kid in like a pub with my mum, and she'd be like, "Do you want to play on my? Do you play on my phone? Do you play Minecraft?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So it's just things like that, and then obviously the Wii. It doesn't matter how old you were or how young you were. Everyone could just pick it up like that. That's how intuitive it was, and how just amazingly intuitive and smart. Anyone could just pick it up and they'd know what to do. It's genius.
Yeah, I mean, pick it up, playing Minecraft, and I don't know how you play Minecraft on the Wii, but
Not on
yeah,
the Wii, not on the Wii, but but like Wii Sports Resort and stuff, other games. I
yeah,
remember I had
I
a
played
Sonic
Wii
game.
Sports Resort. Remember Matt from the Wii? Remember
Oh,
Matt?
terrifying, man.
Oh, he was
Terrifying.
terrifying. Probably one of my favorite characters. Yeah. So
Brilliant.
yeah, that's good to see. So for my earliest gaming memories was when I was playing on the PlayStation 2. So when my mum got it me for my birthday, I was about 6, so it was about 2010. I used to play games like The Simpsons Hit and Run. That has to probably be my favourite game of all time. And racing through, crashing into people, and overall kicking people as well. And I have to say, The Simpsons Hit and Run is probably the best games I've ever played. Have you ever played The Simpsons Hit and Run?
Brilliant game. I remember because I didn't ever have a PlayStation, but my cousin always has always had PlayStations, and I've always had Xboxes. So he's been able to play like Xbox exclusive like Halo on mine, and I would play like Simpsons Hit and Run. I remember I played the Spider-Man game on his PS5 like last week.
Yeah.
It was it's nice having that because you get best of both worlds, because despite all the console wars or whatever, at the end of the day we all just enjoy gaming, and I think it's nice having that little thing that we can all agree on, and you can share that. You can share like, oh, you can come over and play this game. Oh, you can come over and
Oh
play this
yeah,
game.
I totally agree with you because there's a lot of games on the PlayStation 2 that I remember playing, and there was another game as well called Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal, and I always used to play it on the first level of each game of both of my games because I didn't have a memory card back in the day. But I
Yeah.
probably can play Simpsons Hit and Run blindfolded, if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
of how good I was. Yeah, I could literally play it and stuff. And and it was a really good game. And there was other memories I had as well. There was like when I got a 3DS the same year as I got a PlayStation 2. So I was literally just laying on games. I didn't even do my homework. I didn't even
Mhm.
do anything. I was literally playing on either the PlayStation 2 or the 3DS. Yeah,
The
and
3DS was a brilliant console.
oh, definitely.
One of the best handhelds ever made.
Oh, definitely. I remember actually getting it the first week of release because my mum had
Mm.
like some money coming and I thought, you know what, let's just get a Nintendo 3DS. think my sister also got one as well. I think she got a pink one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mario 3D Land on
Oh
there.
yeah, Mario 3D Land. That was got 3D Land with it as well.
Yeah, mine. I think mine came with it, or like my mum bought it for me or something. But oh my god, I remember. The one thing I remember about is being absolutely awful at it. But then I would so I would die repeatedly, just keep dying, and then you'd get that golden leaf where you could just fly through the course.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of the best things ever. I
Mm,
loved it when he was wearing the squirrel suit as well, and
yeah.
I actually completed the game within a month. I might be 6 years old, but I remember playing it a lot and
Mhm.
mastering it and stuff. And it's one of those games that looked easy, but it wasn't. And there was other games I played on the 3DS as well, like Katsumo Unleashed, some of the racing games, Need for Drift, I think it was called,
Yeah.
Cars 2, and there was a lot of games that I played on the 3DS that I've had a lot of memories playing, and Super Mario 3D Land is probably my favourite, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
probably my earliest gaming memory, and that's pretty much what I enjoy about it. So yeah. So have you got any more earliest gaming memories, or should we move on to the next topic?
I think you've covered it. Yeah, I was pretty much the same, but just not PlayStation, Xbox, and but yeah, with 3DS, yeah, 100%.
Oh,
You've unlocked a memory for me there. Nostalgic.
yeah, the 3DS will always be in my heart. My nephew
Mm.
just got a Nintendo Switch recently, and it's really unlocked a few memories when I was playing on the 3DS, and I can't wait to get my own Nintendo Switch one day.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and something tells me the Switch will always be in my heart, and the Nintendo 3DS as well.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. So yeah, that's great. So for my next topic, I would like to discuss with you your opinions on games being released on games being less released frequently on disc rather than digitally, because there are less games being released physically than there are digitally. And can I ask your opinions on that?
I think well, you see, let's go back about 40 years ago. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go back. So the NES has just been released, and on there you had cartridges, and then all the videos and
yeah, the
stuff were
cartridges.
yeah,
I literally got a cartridge game. Um, in my collection, but there's no point getting it out because I have to go into a box and stuff. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. But
I actually literally have the first FIFA game, and yeah, and I that was the only cartridge game I own. But
mhm.
if you go back, but like you say, if you go back 40 years, cartridge was the only way we could get play games, and the internet didn't even exist back then, did they?
Yeah, and if you wanted to watch video, it was VHS, and then we go forward a bit, and games start
Yeah.
using discs, and the internet starts coming more, but no
Oh
one
yeah.
really uses
The
it.
internet
And
is
then
still advancing to this day, so yeah.
yeah, but then one day, seamlessly overnight, I think it was when around PlayStation 4, Xbox One time, that's
Yeah.
when just digital took off. And
Yeah,
honestly,
digital games took off massively. If I
honestly,
remember,
I think it's the best. I think it's for the best because I hate having physical copies of things. I don't like having to sit up and change the disc and take it out, put it back in, and put it back in the box, and then find somewhere to put the box. I hate that. I love just being able to go onto my Xbox,
yeah,
buy a game for cheaper than it is physical, and then
yeah. I mean
just
that's
playing it.
understandable because physical would cost more money to produce than digital. That explains one of the reasons why um digital is taking over
Hmm.
physical copies. But keep in mind, physical copies will always play a role in the gaming industry. Take into account, for example, people might not be able to afford digital currency and, well, digitally, and probably might not have enough room to install the game. So they'd rather purchase a game that is physical rather than digitally, because that way they'll be able to play a game that is more cheaper on digitally, but they can't afford it, because most people, I know they use digital cash, I know they use banks at the moment, but back in the day they didn't, and some people still rely on that, and they save money up for games, and most people don't have bank accounts. I didn't even have a bank account until recently, and I had to have all my money with cash, and I couldn't put it back in because I didn't have a bank account. So I collected the PS4 games, well, I had a PS4, PS3 games physically, because I would still be able to play those games, and rather than digitally. I now have a bank account and I can download games digitally, but I still love to collect games that are physical, and they're rather enjoyable, if you know what I mean. And if I remember vividly, my nephew's games, some of the games he has digitally, but he has to buy a case, because he can't access a Nintendo eShop without a pair of passcode. So we just in the end just bought game cases with a digital download code on it. So I mean, you can still get physical copies. It's just that the game's digital, and that's what that's what makes it all about. So it's nice that they combining two things together, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you make a very good point there. With obviously not enough space, and some people would struggle with bank cards and stuff. But I think it is time to say goodbye to physical copies, because obviously for some people it'll be more difficult, but for the vast majority it'll be easier, cheaper, and not only that, but it'll be better for the environment because there's less plastic and stuff. You're not making more and more plastic and less landfill.
So I agree with you on the plastic bit. So overall, the plastic, there is reduced plastic, but you got to keep in mind there will be some people that might not be able to play future generations of consoles and so on. And if you can see the PlayStation 5, they released 2 consoles, one digital and one physical, if you know what I mean. And what do you think about that, actually? Do you see what they are doing there?
I think they should just honestly they should only sell digital, because it's just so much better for obviously the environment, and it's so much cheaper. It's so much it's easier, cheaper, and better for the environment. So I don't see why there is still, like, I get that obviously you made your point with space on the thing, but at the same time, when you've played these games and you want something new, you'll be fine with getting rid of one just to bring something new in. If you get what I mean.
I agree with you on that one. So yeah, but you got to take in mind that this might still be around for a long time. And eventually, as the world adapts, I think we'll all be playing digital games and stuff. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. But currently, at this moment in time, with all that's been going on, I don't think it would be time just yet to move all to digital. And physical copies people still rely on. So until more and more people rely on digital copies, companies would rather wait until everyone moves to digitally. And the world's changing now, and it's still changing, and the gaming world is still changing to this day. So overall, I wouldn't mind a digital only gaming world where you don't have to buy physical copies anymore. But at the same time, there is still a need for physical copies. It's just that digital is here now, but there's still people that need physical copies, and so I totally agree with you on that. And yeah, and I'm really excited to see how the digital world will play out in the future when physical copies get removed. So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, great. It's just one of them things, isn't it? And I think it's kind of like the old version of doing things, and as we're getting more modern, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also take into account there's a lot of retro gamers that would still love to collect physical copies. So it will probably be harder to find physical copies now than there was back in the day for most games. So it'll be nice to see how the PlayStation 5 goes completely digital, or when the PlayStation 6 comes out, whenever that will be. My prediction says 2029. I think it'll be just digital. So yeah, so it'll be exciting to see how the PlayStation 6 does that, and it'll be funny. But they might still go ahead with physical still. So yeah, and we're 6 years, and we might be many years away from PlayStation 6. But I'm excited to see how it goes. And
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm really excited to see how they would fade out physical copies. I think they'll still release physical copies now and again, but only through the empty game cases and with a digital download code, like the Nintendo Switch is doing. So that'll be interesting to see how it would work. Yeah. Do you think that will still? Do you think physical copies of games with digital download codes will be a thing? Do you think that'll still be a thing? Will that be a thing?
I don't. I think in the future, we're talking completely digital games. I think you'll be able to get like special collector's edition of games. You'll be able to, like, they'll sell collector's edition, and you'll get maybe like a little like disc in it or something, which obviously
they'll
won't
probably
work,
still be
but,
doing that.
But I think they'll just abolish like discs because there's no need for them. We don't like there's no need for them anymore, especially with most consoles going digital only or being cheaper digital only.
Most consoles are going digital only, but some people might still go ahead with the game cases, you know, and like just release digital download codes on them, like insert some digital download codes. That way they'll still be able to play digitally and connect with other people. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes if games companies like Nintendo Switch are doing, and I'm interested to see how it all goes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, it's exciting.
Yeah, I think that will be
think
a good
of the future.
Solution. That'll be a good solution, won't it? Yeah. Okay. Have you got any more else to say about digital games and stuff?
I think we've covered it.
Yeah, I think we've covered it as well. Right, so thank you, Henry, for sharing your opinions on that topic. I felt that was necessary to discuss with you. And with the digital age that's growing now, I think maybe in the next 10, 15 years, we'll all be going digital. And imagine the PlayStation 6 just having a digital console. I'll probably be having my money in that one, investing my money in that one. And it'll be cheaper as well, won't it? So yeah. So why not? So thank you for discussing that with me. So for the next topic, I would like to discuss with you about FIFA and its upcoming rebrand to EA Sports FC. So let's talk about the upcoming rebrand and let's see what you think about it. So Henry, can I ask what you think about the upcoming rebrand?
Well, the rebrand it's not by choice. It's not like their choice. They've not gone, oh yeah, screw FIFA, we're just gonna change it. FIFA, the organisation FIFA.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they're creating their own game.
And generally, EA spend lots of money just for the FIFA name and want to save money. So it's
less about that. It's more just FIFA ending their contract with them. They're like, we don't want to be associated with EA anymore. We're going to make our own game, and then EA are like, fine, we'll make our own game then.
Well, it'll still be the same game. It's just under a different name because all of the licenses, Ultimate Team, Career Mode will all still be there, except for the fact that we won't get any more FIFA World Cup games from EA. And it'll be interesting to see how a new company takes over the FIFA World Cup license and see how they would make the game. In 2010 and 2014, they literally had full versions of the games like qualification, kickoff, all that kind of stuff. But with the DLCs, when they came out, it just completely ruined it. Like just released it within the game, and then for me, that ruined it. So it'll be nice to see how a new company would take over the FIFA license for World Cup and see how the World Cup will play out. Could they bring back the qualification? Could they bring back all that stuff? So yeah, let's see how that works out. And so in general, what do you think about the whole rebrand? Are you excited about it?
I wasn't at first because I thought at first I was like, okay, right, this is going to be a bit rubbish because like they're not going to get the right licensing for all the leagues. They're not going to get teams are going to be funny. Like I thought it was going to be like they wouldn't have any like EFL and stuff.
It will be like eFootball, won't it?
Yeah, it would just be rubbish. But now after seeing they've announced that they've got loads of leagues on board, and they've got all these different like cups and stuff. Now that they've got all the different teams involved with the actual game, I'm really excited to see how it goes. And either way, I would buy it no matter what because I'm a huge I'm a huge football fan. I love FIFA. And I love how it works, how it all runs.
Yeah, I love
And
FIFA
you
as
get to,
well.
because watching football is one thing, but actually getting to play the matches and putting yourself in there, and obviously with Ultimate Team making your own teams, it's something magic that you don't really get with anything else in football.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I also love FIFA, which I just mentioned, and I also have the first ever FIFA game. I'm also excited to see how they would work it. We've got a bunch of different leagues on board. At least you'll still be able to play with Bradford City, which is boss. And I really love the new logo that they've recently just announced, and it's a really lovely logo. Do you agree with me on that one?
I love the minimalist design. Every time I design logos, or at the minute I'm doing like promo video work for a company. And all the time I'm just constantly, just like always, minimalist design, modern design, all of this. And I love how they've incorporated that. I think it's a brilliant way of just showing that this is a modern game, it's a modern brand, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna love it. I think all of the current FIFA players will either stay with EA because it's still the same game under a different name, and I'm excited to see how EA would play this out. And overall, I think EA know what they are doing, and I think the game is in good hands. The future of football is in safe hands, and I generally don't think, I'm going to say this one, FIFA are going to probably fail their game because there's already 2 football games. If FIFA come in with the same kind of game as EA, nobody's going to play that one because it might be a copy of EA Sports FC or FIFA, or currently FIFA. So yeah, and I'm excited for more information that's being released in July, and it'll be interesting to see who could be the cover star. I mean, it might not be Kylian Mbappe next year. It could probably be, and I'm probably
it's been Mbappe. I don't think they're gonna have honestly, I don't think they're gonna have a cover. I think it's just gonna be the logo. I think they're kind of moving away from that. And it's been Mbappe for like what, 3 FIFAs? No, he wasn't 29. 3 FIFAs, 21, 22, 23.
21, 22, 23, yeah.
So 3 FIFAs in a row, I think you can give it a rest.
Yeah, so 3 FIFAs in a row, I think that will probably be a bit. But they might even continue with Kylian Mbappe, or they might continue with the whole player thing, because they want the cover to catch person's attention. So I think they will continue with that. Well, if they don't, then that will surprise me quite a lot. So yeah, very interesting to say the least. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I hope they not obviously I don't want them to change it at all, but I hope they do something new and change stuff about maybe.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I look forward to it actually. So yeah, and as a FIFA player myself, I've always enjoyed the game, and when the new game comes out, I'll probably be playing that as well. I might actually get that digitally, but knowing my luck, I'll probably end up buying it physically, and it will be a shame because I go in a lot of charity shops and it'll be all FIFA. Imagine going into a charity shop one day and seeing lots of FIFA still and a copy of EA Sports FC, and people will be like, what, is this a new game? And they'll obviously buy it because they're just curious.
Yeah.
And then when they bring it home, it's just like the same game but with different names. So yeah.
Well, I think everyone at the minute who plays FIFA will be familiar with EA Sports FC, because obviously in the game they've changed all the side things. Obviously, when you first click onto the game, it says EA Sports FC, join the club this July or whatever, and it's like they are making sure people know that it won't be FIFA. They are changing it, and no, I'm just excited. Really, I'm just excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I'm excited to see what happens as well. But we all have to wait until July, which is literally 3 months away, or like months and a week away. So I'm excited to see how that would go. So yeah, I'm really excited for that one. And yeah, so thank you for discussing that with me. And so have we covered that topic, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just long story short, it's a new game and it's going to be amazing. I've got high hopes.
Same here, high hope. Let's see what EA has planned, and let's see what they pull out the bag. All right, so this is for the last topic of the episode. So anyway, Henry, I now want to ask your opinions about what you think about some video games being turned into movies, as we notice there has been an increase of video games being adapted to movies. For example, Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario have all been given the movie treatment. And could I ask what you think about video games being given the movie treatment? Give me your thoughts on it. Let me see what you think about it.
Okay, well, honestly, I have no issue with it at all. I think it's brilliant. I actually haven't seen the Mario film, which I really want to see.
Same here.
I haven't had a chance to see
I'm
it
not
yet.
Same here. I've not had the chance to see it yet, and my nephew's been to see it, and they kind of ruined it for me because they didn't spoil it for me, but they told me it's not worth seeing, which kind of ruined the element for me. I wanted to not they spoil it for me, even though they didn't tell me the plot of the film. So they've just ruined it for me, and yeah, and I really want to see the film. I'm gonna ignore my sister's opinion and go see it whilst it's still in cinemas. And yeah,
Well,
and
I think I've only heard good things about it from like Twitter and people talking about it. Only heard good things about it, so I'm really hoping it's good. But honestly, with the whole video game movie thing, I don't think it's bad at all. Just because how a game's a game, and there's always like books turning into movies. For example, the Harry Potter
oh yeah,
series.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
So
Harry Potter.
why not with games? Why not?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. There's a lot of games that are being currently turned into movies. From what I've heard at the moment, Minecraft is currently a game being developed, and it'll be interesting to see how that would go. I mean,
Mm.
it's just a game where you build stuff, and I generally don't think it would be a good film because it's just technically building stuff. There's no plot point, but I'll see how they do it with the plot points and stuff. And yeah, so I'm really excited. So yeah, I'm really happy that games are being converted. There's like Super Sonic and the Hedgehog as well. They're probably the most successful at the moment. They've released 2 films with a third one coming out in 2024. What do you think about the Sonic films?
I still have not seen them. Again, I haven't seen them, but I'm a big fan of Sonic, so
You've,
yeah, I
you're
would like
missing
to.
out. You're missing out. I can tell you that now. You're missing out.
I think I should. I think I should eventually, but I love that. Like, obviously Jim Carrey in it. I've seen like clips, and he's brilliant as is it Dr. Eggman now? Well, what did it
Dr.
used to?
Eggman, yeah.
It used to be Robotnik, wasn't it?
Dr. Robotnik, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's
And
just
I've
brilliant
heard
as that.
rumours that Jim Carrey is planning to retire, and they might retire Dr. Eggman as a result. So if he does go through his retirement plans, I think they'll introduce a new villain. There's got lots of villains in the Sonic universe. They can bring a new one in
Hmm.
for the third film. And I'll be interested to see how they could work that and without Dr. Eggman. I think he could still not retire. He might not even retire yet. But if he does go through, I think it'll be interesting to see how the Sonic universe adapts to that and the production teams as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it would work. I think we'll still be seeing his assistant in the films, like working with the new villains, so it'll be nice to see that. Yeah, and yeah, and I'm really looking. I love the film. I love the Sonic films, and you're missing out because those films are probably one of the best 2 films I've ever seen. And if when they do the third film with a powerless Shadow, spoilers, I apologise. It'll be interesting to see how they implement Shadow into these films in the film series. And yeah, something tells me that there might not there might be more than 3 films. There might be a 4th film. There might be a 5th film. There might be a 6th film because there's still a lot of stuff to be explored in the Sonic universe, and it'll be nice to see how they work that out. So yeah, and I'll be definitely be a watcher for those films. So yeah, another thing that I want to discuss with you is that there are other films like Ratchet and Clank and Angry Birds. Could I ask your opinion on those 2 films? Have you seen them yet? And have you seen them yet?
I've seen the Angry Birds film, and it was a bit naff. It was a bit rubbish. Not the best thing I've ever watched. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't like the plot didn't really get me. I was just kind of bored halfway through, and it's just kind of like, yeah, didn't really get me. I'm just realizing now I've actually got Dr. Eggman socks on, yeah, I just yeah, no, it didn't really get me. Although Angry Birds, obviously, the titan of mobile
Speaking of
games.
socks, I've got Homer Simpson socks on, so you're
Yeah,
cool. I'm cool.
yeah, yeah. We're both cool. We're equally cool. But yeah, obviously, Angry Birds obviously paved the way for all other mobile games. It
Yeah,
was the OG,
I
and
played Angry Birds when I still haven't got it on my phone the
Mm.
original one. That's actually on my old phone. The old phone is currently outdated and I can't use it as much anymore. Just for the old games, and I even got Flappy Bird on another phone, and I
Wow,
don't know where
that's a
my old that
flex.
phone is. The guy that's put Flappy Bird on should bring it back on, because if he knew how popular the game was, he should bring it back at least. Don't you think?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, there's no harm in it, you know what I mean?
There's no harm in it, and I mean, if the creator's watching this, bring Flappy Bird back, because we all miss it.
Bring it
So
back.
yeah. So can I ask your opinions on future films? Like I've just mentioned Minecraft. So do you think they could implement Minecraft into the movie verse? How do you think that's gonna work out, in your opinion?
I have honestly no clue at all. Like I could not tell you any idea of what they're doing because it's a sandbox game at the end of the day. How
I
are you gonna
agree.
how are you gonna turn that into a film? But I'm excited. I will watch it no matter what, and I'm excited to see obviously what they do.
Yeah, I mean, they could have Steve defeat the Ender Dragon and the Wither. I mean, imagine a film with the Ender Dragon and the Wither coming into forces, and Steve and Alex try to defeat both the Ender Dragon and the Wither at the same time. And they'll also battle other things like creepers and stuff, and it'll be nice to see how they do implement like the End, the Nether, the Minecraft world, and
You know what?
how
I'm
they're gonna
just
get these
no go.
villagers like do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably hire bald people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Bald people, stick long noses on them, long brown coats. It'll be all good.
Well, I think it would be very similar actually because I'm thinking about it and I was like, how would they incorporate story? But if you think about it, they did very well with Minecraft Story Mode,
Yeah, they
and I
did, yeah,
think
didn't
I
they?
think they could still obviously
They
use
could.
that and
They
do
might not
something
even.
good with
They
it.
might do a Minecraft film, but without Steve and Alex, and might focus on other characters
Hmm.
as well. But Steve and Alex are probably the main element of Minecraft, if you know what I mean. I play Minecraft a few times before, and I think something tells me if they do go ahead with a Minecraft film, it'll probably be It might either go like this. It might be a success. They might make a sequel, but there is a thing. But it might flop as well, because at the end of the day, it's just a game that involves building stuff.
I,
You've got
I do think no matter what, it's going to do very well because Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. Like it is the
Minecraft
number,
might be the best-selling
it
game of
is the
all
number
time.
one most sold game of all time. So no matter what, even for like nostalgia reasons, people will probably go see it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Definitely people will see it, and I will see it myself to see how it would go. Although I don't think the film would be a hit with audiences. It might sell might break the box office, but it might not at the same time. And considering how many people have played Minecraft, they'll all probably go see it. So yeah, and if they do go ahead with a Minecraft film, which probably might not even happen, but I heard rumours, it'll be interesting to see how they could implement that. And yeah, so have you got anything else you like to add to the whole thing? You know, the movie thing. What films do you want to see from the video game universe that you want to see in a movie?
I think honestly, GTA movie. I think a GTA movie would be brilliant.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Absolutely brilliant.
A GTA film, a Gran Turismo film as well, a Gran Turismo Forza Horizon film,
Hmm.
Crash Bandicoot. I think
Crash
that could be
Bandicoot
a
would be
film.
good, yeah.
Yeah, that will be in that. I think that'll be an interesting to see how they do that. And about, I know this might sound weird, but what about a carnival game? Do you know the carnival game? That
Yeah.
imagine if they made a film about that. That'll probably flop badly. So let's
Yeah, I
not.
think it
Let's
would, but great games. Great games.
Yeah, Jenga. I mean, it might not be possible, but they might make a TV series out of it. I mean, they made Tetris, they made a TV series. They'll make Jenga a TV series, if you know what I mean. How it
Mm.
all came to be.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, Henry, we are about to run out of time on the Game On podcast. Before you go, Henry, is there anything you like to add to? Anything you like to add?
Well, I think we've been through some very good topics today. Obviously, FIFA and earliest games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think we've shared some different but very good opinions. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the Game On podcast says next.
Yeah, I mean, the next guest on the Game On podcast is going to be quite huge. Obviously, I'll give
Obviously.
that's a clue, but I don't know when the next episode will be. I'm just letting everyone know about that
Stay
because
tuned, folks.
stay tuned, everyone. And yeah, did you enjoy the episode? You know, like recording it with
Absolutely,
me?
it's been a lovely little chat.
Yeah, it has been a lovely little chat. Yeah, and thank you for coming on to this show. And that brings us, unfortunately, to the end of the Game On podcast. Sometimes I want to continue with the Game On podcast, talk about games for hours, but I can't. I've got a busy life, I've got stuff to do, and I especially got to edit this. Yeah. So thank you again, Henry, for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
And yeah, and I will see you, and I will see you next time for another episode of the Game On podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
Goodbye.